All right, once you've downloaded your active listings report, we're ready to convert it over into the tracking spreadsheet. If you missed the last video, you can get to this screen by going in Seller Central under Inventory, Inventory Reports, then select the active listings report and download it. I've already downloaded one down here. What you're gonna do next is open it up. It's a text file, and it's gonna look something like this. What this is every book you've ever listed on Amazon, or every item rather, not just books. If you are a little OCD like me, or you've gone back in and deleted old listings, they will no longer be in here. But if you've listed it, even if it's sold, you'll still have a metric or some way to track it from Amazon, again, provided you haven't gone back and deleted old listings. So we're gonna do Control or Command A to grab everything, Control or Command C to copy it, and then you're gonna bring up the active listings converter. Again, you can download this from the bookflipper.com/track, TRACK. It's a free file. You can pitch in a few bucks for my coffee or golf fund if you so choose, but it's free. It's just an easy way to transfer your old data into the tracking spreadsheet so you can get some great metrics. So once we've copied the data, we're gonna go into the Input tab here, go up to cell A1 and then Command or Control V. It's gonna paste all that data, and it may take a second depending on how many items you've listed in your account over the last months, years, decades, etc. Once that's pasted in here, it's actually gonna translate it perfectly over into the right format for the tracking spreadsheet. So you won't have to do anything else, although you probably will wanna add source information and cost information, and we'll show you how to do that once this grabs. This sheet will work for up to 100,000 items. If you've listed more than that, then you're gonna have to extend the rows or reach out via email, and I'm happy to help do that as well. So this is the input data from Amazon. Again, they've got the date we've listed it. They've got any of the condition notes. They've got the price we originally listed it at. Quantity, it's usually set to blank if it's one. If you have multiple, it'll show up as more. And most importantly, we have the SKU, and that's what we're gonna use. If you click over here, there's no macros or anything. Looks like the sheet isn't set up to run automatically. So if your sheet is set to manual, no problem. Come up here and just say calculate sheet, and it will calculate everything for you. Or if your settings were already set to automatic, it'll do that for you without having to do any work. So all of this data is now exactly lined up to be pasted into the tracking spreadsheet, with the exception we're missing a few data points. So one would be source. Now, if you set your SKUs up in such a way that you've got the source tracked, in this case it's gonna be cherished, you can actually go through and kind of fill down or actually fill in your source information this way. You don't need it for the spreadsheet to work, but if you want to get accurate source metrics, it might be worth the time to do this. And you're going to want to do this now before you paste into the tracking spreadsheet. You can do it later, but while you're doing this and going through the detail work, you might as well do it. Date code, we don't use that anymore, so that's intentionally blank. If you have cost information, this is where you're gonna wanna put it in as well. Some of these SKUs you can see don't have cost information baked into it. Some of them do. A lot of these are free books, so they're just gonna show up as 0 in our case. So if you wanna go back in, you can just do an average cost if you know that everything costs roughly $1.50. It gives you a rough idea. Again, you're gonna wanna be accurate on this because this is gonna determine your cost of goods sold, and it's gonna make accounting time a lot easier. Unfortunately, we don't get a sales rank from Amazon. We did get the quantity. We got the date transferred right. We've got your condition. So we've got a total cost and a total list price, which is going to be great for your source metrics. And then don't worry about inbound shipping. If you have that information and want to go back and apply it to individual batches, you can do that, and it'll clean up your source metrics. But inbound shipping is already factored into the sales data reports from Amazon. So we're already calculating it in the income statement. So for tax purposes, don't worry about these columns. It's only if you want to be perfectly detailed and have everything lined up just right for your source metrics. So that's what we've got. From here, you're going to want to go in and we're going to grab everything and we're going to copy it. So you can scroll all the way down. Again, if you've got a lot of data like this, I've got 100,000 here. Looks like 10,000 data points. We'll probably extend that down. If you've got more than 10,000, you can extend your data by grabbing this area and just dragging down for as much data as you have. I'll update this to 100,000, so most of you will be good to go right out of the gate. You're gonna go ahead and copy it. Again, Command C. We're gonna go over to the tracking spreadsheet, and we're gonna go down and try and find our first blank spot. So we're gonna hit Command or Control, and then the down arrow. That'll bring you down to where you last have data. Go to the next blank cell. Now this is really important. The converter sheet has a lot of formulas in it, and if you paste your data, it's going to have a bunch of reference areas or errors when you close the old spreadsheet. So we're going to right click, go to paste special. We're going to say values only, and then say OK. So now we're all set up. We've lost the formulas. It's just an actual date now, and you're all set. You're ready to go. You've now got the data and the listing data. It should now match up to anything in the sales data. And again, if you're able, go back, add your source information and your cost information, and that'll make you that much more accurate. Don't forget to save your spreadsheet when you're done. Click on Update Data to make sure you're ready to go. And that's how to get your old data from Amazon into the listing portion of the tracking spreadsheet.